Hi there. In this video, we'll be covering Help Me Write a Book for Free. It's certainly possible to write a book while keeping your costs low. Stay tuned for some of my best low-cost and no-cost writing tips. By the end of this video, you will learn the key elements for writing your book, how to avoid getting ripped off, and the importance of a writing process that works for you. And stay tuned until the end of the video for a resource that I really think you're going to enjoy. Let's dive in. Writing a book can be a very expensive process. I've worked with people who spend tens of thousands of dollars writing their book. Obviously, you want to avoid that fate. And I think that's a valuable thing. I think it's awesome to be able to write your book, regardless of the price point, regardless of how much money you have. Your message matters, and it's important to get it out in the world. In order to write the best book possible with the lowest spending, you really need to unlock your story and your message. You need to understand why you're writing this book and what it's all about. What is your purpose for writing the book? What is your why? Understanding your purpose is going to make the entire process that much easier, and it's also going to help you make as much progress as possible. So if you do end up at some point wanting to work with a ghostwriter or a coach, you'll be well positioned to do so, and you're also going to save yourself a lot of money because of the fact that you've already done a lot of this foundation work. If you have the purpose really figured out and you take the steps to understand why you're writing the book, what the reader takeaway is, and the message that you want to share, why that message is unique, and why you're the best person to tell that story, it's going to make everything from here on out that much easier. To that point, book foundation work is super valuable. When I talk about book foundation work, I'm really focusing on your hook, your audience, your outline, and your positioning statement. The hook is really your elevator pitch. What's the reader takeaway and how can it help them? What's your book about in a sentence or two? These are the things that you really need to understand and answer to make this process easier, because otherwise you're going to spend a lot of time trying to figure it out, and it's just going to make it more frustrating and more difficult. Audience, you need to understand who your book is for. Because if you don't understand who your book is for, it's going to be really tough for them to find the book, to figure it out, to understand how it's going to help them. Outlining is crucial. Outlining is the roadmap for the story. What's the beginning of the story look like? What's the end of the book look like? What's the in-between look like? And the positioning statement's really understanding the themes that make your book matter. What are the 4 or 5 themes of your book? And making sure that all of the chapters align to that. I know this sounds mundane, but it's really the basics of book writing. If you can do these things well, it's going to save you so much time, energy, and cost. You can write your book. You can do it. It's really contingent on you understanding your writing process. What does your writing process look like? How are you effective at writing? Think about projects you've worked on in the past. What was successful about them? What wasn't successful? In order to be successful with this book, you really need to tap into your work style, your ability to get things accomplished, and understanding how you can build momentum. Because it's really about momentum. If you write 275 words every single day, over the course of a year, you'll write 100,000 words total. So if you think about that, if you think about just writing 275 words a day, every single day, you're going to get there. It really is a matter of being disciplined, having good habits, and laying the groundwork for success. So if you know exactly where you're going, if you know what the book is about, you know all the chapters, then the writing that you do is going to fit within the parameters of that. It's going to fit within the framework that you've developed, and it's going to make everything else easier from here. We think about this idea of a book being this giant thing, but if you break it down into smaller segments, into smaller chunks, you can make the progress you need to succeed. You also have to think about the path to publication and how much money you want to spend on it. You could literally make a design, a cover by yourself in Canva. You could have your friend edit it. You could streamline every single cost. For a lower cost option, an option that I highly recommend, I would check out the website readsy.com. There you can actually find specific experts that would do the specific things that you need them to do. If you need a copy edit, for example, you can find the copy editor and pick the price point that you want. You could solicit bids from a number of copy editors and then pick the one that's best for you. All told, if you wanted to write your book and publish it in an inexpensive way at a high quality, you could probably do so for less than $5,000. That's involving editing, layout, design, cover, everything. everything that you need to get your book published for less than $5,000. And that's a high quality. That's not counting ghostwriting, that's not counting coaching, that's not counting other services and costs, but you can do it for that price point. You can do it for cheaper. You can do it for more. It really depends on what you're trying to accomplish and the skill set that you bring to the table. If you're a great designer, for example, maybe you want to design the cover yourself, and you could do so. You don't need someone else to do that for you. So it's really picking and choosing what services that you need based on things that are outside of your skill set. You know, the things that are in your skill set, you can do yourself. So it's picking and choosing what works best for you and making wise decisions. Thankfully, luckily, there are so many tools, so many low-cost and no-cost tools at your disposal that can help you along the way. Google Docs, Microsoft Word, automatic transcription services like Adhere or Rev. They are all pretty inexpensive or free, and you can use them to your advantage. That's the beautiful thing. There's so many different tools for you to choose from, and so many different ways that you can go about writing a book. But the writing process itself, if you have the skill set and you have the determination, doesn't need to cost anything. It's all up here. It's all in your mind. And it's all about taking all those things in your mind and putting them onto the page. If you're interested in getting low-cost or no-cost help in writing your book, I have two options for you that I think would be great for you to consider. One is completely free, and it's called Good Book Blueprint. It's at goodbookblueprint.com, and it's a course I created with a friend of mine, collaborator named Nate Woodbury, and we talk all about the book process from beginning to end, from ideation to publication. So that's one great tool, and that's a free tool that employs many of my perspectives and lessons. And another option is a different course I created called Good Book Mastery, and that's at the website goodbookmastery.com. That one is a paid course, but it's relatively inexpensive, and it involves group coaching and even one-on-one support for different tiers of service. That one offers a much deeper level of support and insight and perspective. These are all the lessons I've learned from writing and ghostwriting 30+ books myself. Either way, whether you choose Good Book Blueprint or Good Book Mastery, there are two low-cost and no-cost options for you that could help you finish your book. Remember, a good book can change your life. I'm Dan Good. Thanks for watching.